Erik with Full Mount MMA, joined today by UFC middleweight Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin, how are things?
Man, things are well, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
I was going to say you've been on quite a roll recently. I was excited seeing your last win against a really highly touted opponent, somebody that you've trained with in the past, Albert Duraev. What do you attribute this recent success to? That's 3 fights in a row now.
Just with the consistent work I've been putting in. Unfortunately, the first 4 fights I had within the UFC, you know what I mean, I wasn't able to be a full-time fighter. But now that I have the schedule planned out, now that I have the team in place, that I feel like, everything that I've been doing up to this point is really just been showing by itself the results that we've been getting just with the consistent work that I've been able to put in.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know we talked about that a little bit last time. I was just wondering, have you talked to Duraev since the fight? I know you guys used to train together. You had some nice things to say about him as an opponent after the fight.
No, I haven't spoke to him afterwards, but he been commenting, and I liked a couple of his posts as well. So, what I mean, there's love right there. You know what I mean, just showing love on Instagram by commenting and stuff, but no DM messages, nah.
I rewatched the fight today in preparation for this, and you were really fired up after the win. It seems like your confidence is like on another level right now. Is this as confident as you felt since joining the UFC?
Yeah, it's at the highest level right now. I've always been confident, but right now I got the work ethic behind it to give me that confidence. You know what I mean? So everything that I've been doing up to this point right now, you know what I mean, it's just showing me that like I'm one of the best in the world. And I don't think nobody gonna stop me no time soon.
And I think the UFC would agree with that, matching you up with a top 15 opponent in Nassourdine Imavov. What does this opportunity to break into the rankings for the first time in your UFC career mean to you?
It means a big deal to me. You know what I mean? For the UFC to give me an opportunity to get right back in there, to get a number by my name, to show everybody, what more I'm capable of. Like, I can't do nothing but just be thankful for the UFC just to see that my potential is high, right now.
How much downtime is it going to be between fights? I mean, you're staying very active this year so far.
This year I'm trying to get one more in right after that. So that's my biggest goal. So right after, Nassourdine, not looking past him, but once I get through him, I'm looking to fight another opponent, you know what I mean, before the end of the year. And then we start to, work strategically to get to that belt.
He's definitely a tough matchup for anyone. What do you know about him? Have you followed his career? What do you think he does well in there?
No, I don't follow anybody's career as much, but I watched a couple of his fights. I think he's a pretty good fighter. Definitely, young. This probably be the youngest fighter I fought. In my career, because everybody used to be older than me, but now I'm fighting a younger opponent. So I feel like now I have the experience on my side when it comes to that. But other than that, man, he's new to the game in the sense as where he comes from. MMA wasn't legal in France, for the longest time. So, I feel like they still trying to get things together. They still trying to build, certain programs in order to create world champions. They've done a successful job with the little tools that they have. But, I just feel like Nassourdine, I'm going to be too much for him when it comes between me and him.
You think that experience is your biggest advantage over him?
My experience, my power, everything. I think I'm just going to be too much overall, no matter where the fight goes, I feel like I'm gonna have an advantage over.
Absolutely. Can we expect another highlight reel coming up?
Always. Anytime you watch me, you got to expect that. You know what I mean? Just that's just how I come. Every single time.
I was going to say I was watching a recent interview with Israel Adesanya, who actually gave a shout out to your viral knockout back in 2018. Did you see this clip at all?
Back in 2018? No, you mean 2020, huh?
2020. Yeah, sorry.
No, you're right. Yeah, I saw the clip. You know what I mean? Just he said it was worth 50,000. I think it was worth 200,000 to be honest with you. But the knockout of the year. But regardless, though, you know what I mean? I bow my head and I'm just thankful for Izzy for seeing me. But at the end of the day, we are competitors. And, Izzy got, a big task in his hands with Alex Pereira coming up. But if things don't happen out or plan out like it should, then hopefully I can put myself in position to fight Izzy, So
yeah. Definitely want to ask you about that fight too. I think he said in the interview he's been pulling off that move of yours in sparring sessions, not in real fights, since 2010. How long have you been training that the viral move back in 2020?
I've been training it probably since 2016, when I found out that Raymond Daniels pulled that move off in Glory kickboxing. So I've been doing it for a while, but never did it in sparring. You know what I mean? Never did it on a person. You know, only trained it off the heavy bag. You know, yeah.
You ever get sick of people talking about that knockout, considering the success you've had since then?
No, not at all, man. Like, that kick's gonna last for a long time, even after I'm gone. So, it's a blessing, you know what I mean? So anytime anybody brings it up, I know it's just bringing up old memories for them. So when they first seen it, so they just always curious. So yeah, I have no issues with bringing it back up and talking about it. Not at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, middleweight is definitely getting interesting, as you alluded to there. Looks like Adesanya is going to be fighting Alex Pereira next.
Oh, it's nobody else for him to fight right now. I want to see it too, but I just don't think the fight is going to be as massive or as exciting as people think it might be, just because the style that Alex Pereira brings is not it's only exciting if you bring the fight to him. And Izzy's not going to do that. Izzy's going to do what he needs to do in order to retain this belt, and I ain't mad at him, But Alex Pereira is a slow starter, and he's not the type of individual to walk his opponents down, definitely when it comes to MMA right now. So I don't think it's going to be as exciting as a matchup as people think. So that's why I feel like the UFC needs me in general in order to get the fight that they need out of Izzy, because Izzy's willing to fight. I don't care nobody say Izzy is a dog, you know what I mean? He's willing to fight, but you got to bring the fight to him.
I was going to say, because he's been criticized after his last performance against Jared Cannonier. What do you think about the criticism? Do you think that, have the belt, you got to keep the belt?
Criticism on Izzy. Izzy, we already know about Izzy. That's how he wins his fights, you know what I mean? But Jared Cannonier, I felt like he should have moved forward, you know what I mean? All this talk about, mental fortitude and, him carrying these philosopher rocks and giving them powers and stuff like that. I guess he got the wrong rocks, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day, because he didn't have any of that power or any of that confidence when he walked into that cage, unfortunately, you know what I mean? Because Jared Cannonier, when he fights everybody else, you know what I mean, he's walking them down, he's putting them punches on them, but when he fought Izzy that night, it was a whole different Cannonier. So, I put all the criticism on the opponents more than I do on Izzy, on Marvin Vettori, on Robert Whitaker, on Jared Cannonier. The guys that fight him, they hesitate, and when, unfortunately, if you don't have that belt, you don't get the privilege to hesitate or dial back. You got to go get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's my opinion.
Oh, well said. As a rising contender, obviously, we talked about your incredible activity in this past year or so. Does it bug you at all that Pereira kind of skipped the line by fighting Sean Strickland?
No, not. I mean, he fought the right person to put himself in position. He fought, a notable name is Sean Strickland, who was on a actually has not lost that middleweight at all. So in order to beat him and knock him out in the first round like he did his job in order to get that title. Because like I said, who else is he gonna fight? Marvin Vettori and Robert Whitaker for a third time? Don't nobody want to see that. So I'm excited that the division is starting to get a new fluctuation of different fighters. Like Chris Curtis right now is about to fight Jack Manson, and myself about to fight Nassourdine. You got a lot of, new names coming up to the 185 division that can potentially fight for that belt. So that's good.
Of course. Did that fight surprise you at all, Pereira getting that knockout on Sean Strickland?
Nah, just because I know who Sean Strickland is as a person. I had reached out to him beforehand. I told him exactly what to do. I told him to pressure him up against the cage, like cage clinch, because Alex Pereira doesn't have good cardio, period, And he could have just really wore out Alex Pereira with just the clinch, not even just wrestling him, but just the clinch alone. And he would have probably seen a little bit more success than what he did. But, Sean going to do what he do. So, he went out there and, he said he wanted to fight like a man. Shoot, so he went down like a man too. So it is what it is.
I was going to say, did he respond to that advice?
Oh yeah, he responded. He said he didn't know what he was gonna do either. So he was surprised. Like I said, Sean Strickland is a different individual, but yeah, he didn't have idea. He knew what he needed to do to win the fight. He didn't know what he wanted to do in order to win. So that was the only thing. So, but you make your decision, man. You live by your decisions. It is what it is.
Of course. I want to switch gears a little bit because the last time we talked about you leaving your job and pursuing fighting full time. And you talked about the importance of not just obviously being successful in the cage, but kind of building your brand outside of the cage as well through social media, other ventures. I kind of wanted to get an update. Like, how are things going? Is that mentality still there?
The mentality's still there. We've been working on a lot of things. Right now, we about to head back to St. Louis and do a little podcast between me and my brother Erik. We got our thing coming out with a solid foundation with our media. So yeah, everything is moving along, man. Got some new merch coming out. this year. So yeah, it should be fun. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you think more fighters should be kind of like following in your footsteps, thinking about these things when we talk about things like fighter pay?
Yeah, I mean, that's their choice, you know what I mean? So, you do what you got to do, but, I come from a city where you got to hustle. So, so it's nothing new, so I'm not going to rely on the UFC to give me, the $1 million checks. I'm going to try to work to get them on my own, it wouldn't hurt either. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to rely on them to get paid. So,
of course. Well, Joaquin, I always appreciate your insight on the channel. Before I let you go, I wanted to give you the opportunity. Anything you wanted to shout out or promote, we can link it below.
Man, pretty much just make sure y'all watch me September 3rd in Paris, to fight for a number, and just continue to follow my career, and also go follow my page on Solid Foundation Shop on Instagram. Appreciate you.
Awesome. And the first UFC Paris show too. That's got to be pretty exciting to headline.
Yeah, I'm always, it's funny enough, I'm always on these historic cards, man. So I appreciate the UFC for just putting me out there, because they just know anytime I go out there, like, it's going to be a good showing.
There it is. Joaquin Buckley, UFC middleweight contender. Can't wait to see it.
Yes, sir. Future champion. Let's go.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for watching this video. If you like our content, be sure to subscribe to Full 9 MMA. And while you're at it, make sure to hit the bell icon as well so you never miss an update from us.